Well, good morning, everybody. I hope you're enjoying that cup of coffee here this Saturday morning. This is my second edition of Saturday Morning Chats, and I have my very good friend with me, John from JO Ventures Outdoors. He and I have, I think we kind of hit it off, and we've known each other for about a year or so or longer, somewhere around a year, and our friendship just seems to get, growing closer and closer. So, John, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you, Tom. I appreciate you inviting me to come in and have a chat with you here this morning, and I really appreciate our friendship too. And it's been really great to get to know you and enjoy your channel, of course, and your videos and just our friendship. So
Yep.
appreciate you inviting me in here today.
Absolutely. So, what's the weather like there?
Well, it's actually a beautiful day here. It's about 40 degrees, sunny, probably a little bit over 40 degrees, but we
Yep.
had snow over the weekend.
Did you?
And
Okay.
yeah, I don't know if most people probably know I'm in Indiana, but I won't say exactly where, but
Yeah. And
yeah,
and just
that's
just
where
to
I'm at.
remind everybody, this is pre-recorded, so this isn't
Yes.
actually Saturday morning. But anyway, but great. Yeah. We can kind of see. Of course, I'm in northern Iowa, northwest Iowa, and we're starting to see the little twinges of spring, right around the corner. Although it is still March, and we got all of March and April to go yet, and
Well, we
we
have
we, we can still
tulips.
get one or two good blizzards yet. So
We have tulips up. We have, several spring bulbs up, and trees are starting to bud out. But we had really frigid temperatures over the weekend, so I'm a little
yeah,
concerned about
yeah.
some of that, some of
So
those plants being frozen out. But
oh sure, yeah. It always happens that way, doesn't it? They come up and then
yeah, but they get damaged, but then they just grow right out of it. They're
they
not
do.
really,
They heal themselves. They
yeah,
seem
they're
to do so.
pretty resilient. So,
So, John, I know you like Victorinox knives, but I think you're more famous for your leather work right now, aren't you? You have
well,
just made a
it seems
splash
like it.
across the knife community.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I'm a little shocked actually because you're your own worst critic, if I could say
Right,
that.
right.
And so I see things like Pete did a video today. Today we're actually recording. He did a video on some of the things I've given him,
I
and
I
I
saw
look
the
back at
thumbnail. I saw the thumbnail for it. I haven't had a
yeah.
chance to watch it yet, but I plan on.
Some
So
of the
let me.
early pieces, some of the earlier pieces kind of make me cringe a little bit now, but it was
Oh, they
probably
shouldn't.
pretty it was probably pretty good at the time, but I feel like I've improved.
Well, and I should have had it out and thought about this, but that first side draw scout carry sheath you made for the Buck
Yeah,
116, I know you commented, well, the stitching wasn't too good and it was off a little bit, but I look at the welt on that thing. I look at the thickness of the leather and the welt on that
yeah,
sheath is going to last forever. I mean,
yeah,
if you
and
got
I
to
would.
stitch off just a little bit,
It's not going to hurt.
functionality, that's
Yeah.
not, but I am going to zoom myself in here.
Oh, great.
And I learned how to do this. So let me see. Oh, solo layout. That's
That
what I did.
RJ, he is a good
There we
teacher.
go. I'm learning this. But here's one of his latest examples. And this was commissioned by Terrell Snyder to have John make this for me to fit a toothpick. And viewers, just look at that. Tell me that is not excellent leather work right there. Look at the thickness. Whoops, the wrong way. Look at the thickness of that leather. And I don't know the different. What do you call it? The different
Weights.
weight. That's the word I was
Yeah.
looking for. Yeah. Um, but folks, John has just been making so many neat leather projects, and he's been commissioned to make a lot of them. So watch his channel, especially if you like leather work. There, what you got there? Let me bring that up.
Yeah, this is just like yours, actually.
Okay,
I usually make the mistakes for myself.
sure.
And this is one where I didn't quite get it cut right. It's a little bit off on the, I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of oddly shaped. And So, but
Uh-huh.
I use it for my Colonel Coon large toothpick.
Oh, sure.
And
Yep.
so this was part of Terry's deal on one of the builds I did for him. He, say, hey, buy yourself a Colonel Coon. Well, we decided on the Colonel Coon large toothpick because I didn't have a large toothpick and I needed one to be able to make these sheaths for him.
Right.
Because not only did I make sheaths for the YouTube creators like you, um, and I made one for you, one for TK,
Mm-hmm.
one for Warthog, and one for Tobias Gibson. So those were the
Yep.
four I made, but I also made three before that for Terry
Oh, great.
and
Yeah.
Terry and his sons, and I don't think he'd mind me saying that, but he's been a
Yep.
wonderful person to work with and get to know, and
Mm-hmm.
he's a huge supporter of our channels
Yes, he is.
and the traditional knife channels, and so I appreciate Terry very much. And but yeah, this
Yep.
is one of them. Just like, but this is a little different color dye
It is.
and stitching. And
Yep.
I've got the wolf on there. I don't know if you can see that.
Right.
My lighting's a little bad here,
Yeah.
but you
I
can
can
see
see
the
it.
wolf.
Yeah.
So hopefully that'll come out a little clearer. But
Yeah.
yeah, that's a
Well,
good one. That was a fun one. And
so
I like it.
how
I
long
like it when it
how,
doesn't have a
how
welt in it.
yeah, yeah.
The
How
welts are
long
kind
did
of hard.
how long does it take you to make one of these?
Um, people often tell me or ask me that, and I kind of go because I have to do it in stages. But it took me probably a week off and on. I
Mm-hmm.
did not a week solid, obviously, but
Right.
a week off and on, like in the evenings and things, to make three.
Mm-hmm.
So, so it took me about a week. So probably I could probably make a side draw like that in a couple 3 days.
Sure. Yep.
Just in the evenings, but you have to let the dye dry. You have to,
Sure. Yeah.
then when you glue it, before I stitch it,
Yeah.
these are glued together,
Mm-hmm.
and so you have to let that dry a little bit. I like to let it dry overnight if I can, and then I'll come back and punch the holes with the stitching iron, do the
Yeah.
stitching and that sort of
So
thing.
you're getting more and more proficient.
I I'm getting better. I'm practicing. I'm
Yeah.
getting lots of opportunities thanks to all of you who asked me to
Well,
do sheets for you, and I do appreciate that very much. But
yeah, well, and
so
just so the backstory, everyone knows that when we met about a year or so ago, I got that buck caper knife, and I got it at an antique store, and it wasn't in the right buck sheath. And I was like, man, it didn't fit in there good at all. It was for like a 103 buck or something. It was just not the right sheath at all. And so I got to emailing back and forth with John, and he says, sure, let's give it a try. So we did a channel collaboration, and I did a review on the buck knife, and then John, made the sheath for it and did his video on it on the sheath and everything. So that I think that's where things kind of kicked off really seriously between you and I think. And that was a
yeah,
fun
and I'm
project.
still I'm still on the magnified view. I don't know if you want to bring me down to so they can see both of
Well,
us.
okay,
You,
okay, I
you
can do
might
that.
maybe you can edit.
Yeah,
You
there we
might
go.
edit
Oh,
it. Now
no,
you're.
now I'm on. Hang on.
I'm sure
Just
you can
when I
edit.
just when I thought, there
That's
we go.
okay. That's
Just
okay.
when I thought
Yeah,
I was
I
getting to
think
be a pro at StreamYard.
I was going to say, Tom, that it was really you that got that all started. You're the one that started it.
Well,
All the leather because it started. I think I was the first. You were the first one that I did a sheath for.
hmm
And Pete was right up there too. Pete
sure,
was
yeah.
not far behind that, I think. So it was really you and Pete that were really the first ones that I did sheaths for.
Well,
Of
and I
course,
think
slips, you
we
know.
did the well, we've done several traveling knives, and
Oh,
we've always
yeah, the
made a
traveling.
a pocket slip for the traveling knives or in the
Yeah.
sheaths or whatever, but a
Hmm.
leather project to go with that knife. And as that got passed around, I think every channel, they were more interested in the sheath or the slip than they were the knife because
Yeah, and
you just
I kind of
you
wondered, Tom, whether I should do that every time or not. After a
well,
while,
I
I was like,
mean,
I didn't want people to just take the focus off the knife,
no, no,
and on
no,
my
I don't
leather
mean it
work.
that
But,
way. I meant that as a
but
compliment because your work just keeps getting better and better. So the practice is
well,
paying off. So
well, thank you. I just enjoyed doing it, so I would do it, and no one ever really gave me that feeling necessarily. It was just me, kind of
mhm.
wondering whether I, should have made it for every single knife or not. But I just enjoyed doing it. And it was good practice for me. So, and the
Well, and
pressure is kind of off because people weren't really paying me to do that,
well, right,
know,
I know.
or
Yeah,
expecting it. So. Um, it was a lot of fun to do that. I think that the most out of all those slips were, really the Elk Ridge was really fun. I made that out in the backyard. I didn't make it
yeah,
specifically for the Elk Ridge. I just made it
right.
for fun, and then it fit that, and I thought, well, why don't I just send this with it?
Yeah.
And so that's why I did that. And
Well, I've been
so
able to
anyway,
give away a couple pocket knives, and of course, one of your pocket slips was right there with it, and
yeah,
the winner is just besides themselves to get that nice slip along with the knife.
uh,
So I
that's
really appreciate all your hard work, and I don't want to make you blush or anything like that, but when I say this, and I've told you this before, I admire craftsmen and people that are able to take a picture up in their head and then actually do it. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Well, I appreciate that very
so,
much, Tom, and I want to make sure you didn't make me feel bad for doing that at all. I just did. I enjoyed it, and
oh, I know you do.
so
I know you
appreciate it.
do. I
I
know you
appreciate
do.
your kind words. You're always
No,
been very encouraging to me, so I
well,
appreciate
that's
it very
great.
much.
And your channel's growing. You did a 400 subscriber giveaway, and now you're well up over 500. Onwards and upwards, my friend. That's terrific. So, everybody, make sure when you're done here, and I'll leave a link to one of his videos, and that make sure you go to his channel and hit that subscribe button. And I say this now to all the viewers, no matter what channel you're watching, if you can take the time to even hit that like button and the smallest of comments, that just means the world to all of us with the channels that you take.
Absolutely.
And there's so many great channels out there to watch. So when you take the time to watch one of our videos and then take the time to, hit like and leave a little simple comment, it means the world to us because I know there's a lot of competition out there, and that's my biggest complaint right now is there's such great content out there. I can't get to it all.
Yeah, I feel bad because I always think, oh, I want to watch so and so's videos, and I want to watch these, but I don't have time to watch
There's
them all.
there's only so
And
many hours. Yeah.
there's only so many hours, but I do appreciate comments, and I try to respond to each and every one of them, even if it's just a thank you or
Yeah, just a
appreciate you
simple,
watching
great,
or
nice knife,
something like that. Yeah,
nice video, just some 2 words, just
yep.
and
It doesn't have to be long for me to appreciate it at all.
and and I just like to remind that to the viewers because when you start a channel, you're trying to navigate through YouTube and do all this and that, and there's all these silly algorithms and all this and that. So, if you want to help that channel out, doing those two little things means the world of difference um, to help that channel get more reach and grow as a channel. So,
Yeah, absolutely.
anyway, enough about YouTube and leather. I know you're also a big Victorinox fan.
Yeah, that's one of my favorites to collect. And I've got well, thanks to some very nice gifts recently, I've expanded the collection just a little bit, and so I really have appreciated
This
collecting those and receiving them as gifts.
Is there any? I won't say. I won't ask what your favorite Victorinox is, but is there any special feature, or is there kind of a group of them that you favor over the others, or what do you look for in a Victorinox knife?
Oh,
Just
that's a great question. Well, I have been really well. I kind of resisted for a long time. I carried basically the Cadet,
okay,
this little Alox Cadet.
sure,
Um, it just because how slim it is and the tool set on it. It's got the opening layer and it's got the nail file and the really nice Victorinox blade. But I started carrying a Tinker, and I don't know where that is. This little Tinker here, which is very popular. It's got the screwdriver, on the back, the Phillips head screwdriver. It's got the spare blade in the opening layer in the main blade, and it's also got the awl. Well, I picked this up in a trade, really inexpensively. I mean, I might have paid $5 for this, and it
hmm
was just a mess. And I cleaned it up, and I polished the scales, and I sharpened it, and I put all that work into it. And I was like, I really want to carry this, and it seemed like it just meant a lot more. I mean, this is not the nicest knife I have by any means, and for some reason I always wanted to carry it. So I really got interested in the Tinker, and then I got
yeah,
interested in wanting the Tinker Small, and a viewer, his name's Walter. He actually sent me a Tinker Small, and I'm actually trying to figure out where it is, but it's basically a Tinker that's on an
well,
84
hold
millimeter
on,
frame.
let me bring you up. See,
Oh yeah, sure.
I'm already forgetting. There you go.
Yeah, so you can see it's the same. It's got the same tool set, but it's on an 84 millimeter frame. So I got interested. The long story short here is that I got interested in the Tinker family, and and then I picked up on eBay. Picked up a Super Tinker, which has the scissors. I mean, that's
Okay,
the feature that I really think is super handy. I
sure,
really love the scissors. I love the blades on a Victorinox, and I actually use mostly the awl. And
now I
Pete
can.
mentioned my lanyards. Well, I use the awl to prepare this lanyard because I have to ream out the holes on these
Oh, okay,
beads to get them to
sure,
fit. And so
sure.
I use the awl on these all the time. Um, and
All the
so,
time.
yeah, alls all the time. And so I got the Super Tinker, and then Pete, a Jersey Knife guy, actually gifted me a Tinker Deluxe, and it
Oh,
has the
nice,
pliers, the spring-loaded pliers here, as
nice,
well as the scissors and all the other tools that you see on
nice.
the Tinker. So I've been
So,
carrying this mostly right at the moment.
sure. Yeah.
But the Tinker family really, and I'm going to do a video on all those here coming up sometime. But that's really one I really enjoy. Um, and so yeah, I think that's really the one I mostly look for.
Great.
I Yeah, so but I have some with saws. The
hmm
saw on the Victorinox models is excellent. I have a Farmer X, and I have now a Huntsman, thanks to the viewer Walter that sent me gifts. He sent me a Huntsman, um,
Yeah.
which has a saw, and I have a Camper, which has a saw. So
Okay.
I do have several models with that, but I don't. There's not as much use for that. I work in an office all day, and not as
Right.
much use for a saw.
Yeah.
But if you're out camping or hiking, then you definitely would make use of that. So
Yeah.
anyway, yeah, I
So,
love Victorinox.
having a YouTube channel, what are kind of some of the things that surprised you, or you've learned since you've had a channel, or
Oh,
because
quite a
I,
bit.
yeah, for a lot of years I sat and watched a lot of videos, and now that I'm making videos, I appreciate all the work that people have been putting into them and this and that. And I didn't realize what all was involved. It looks simple when you're just sitting there in your pajamas with your cup of coffee, right? So, but what has anything surprised you or shocked you or said, gee, I didn't realize that?
Yeah, I think it's a great question, Tom. I think the biggest thing that shocked me was that there was a community
Mm-hmm.
associated with the channels. And actually the viewers. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so we could definitely include and should include the viewers too on that. And so I think that really kind of surprised me because I didn't think about that before. Excuse me. And so I didn't think about that. I didn't think about the fact that you would make friends
Mm-hmm.
through doing YouTube videos, and that has really surprised me. And I also like you appreciate very much the work that goes into people who do a lot of wonderful editing.
Mm-hmm.
I can mention TK for one.
Mm.
I
Thrifty
know he
Knippy.
does a lot of editing.
Isn't that
And
professionally done? I mean, he
oh,
really does. Yeah.
it's incredible. He is very talented. And there are many others. I just can't think of them at the moment.
Oh,
But
I thought of the Kirby Creek outfit.
oh yeah,
That's another great channel because I mean he's
yes.
actually using his knives and
Well, he's outside too,
he's
Tom, and as you
outside. And,
know, that
yep.
brings a whole different challenge. I
Yep.
wanted to do more outside. That's why my name is the way it is. It
Right.
came from my love of outdoors. That's where the
Right.
name came from. And I meant to do more outdoors, but it ended up most of it's tabletop and some other things. So hopefully
Right.
at some point I can do more of that.
Yeah.
But
Here where I live, like in the spring and the fall, you got so many cloudy days, and if it's
yeah,
super cloudy, the lighting's terrible. Or if it's the right temperature, there's no mosquitoes, and it's the right lighting, then the wind's blowing 40 mile an hour, and you can't record because of the wind. So
yep,
yeah,
it's
outdoor
challenging.
outdoor recording is challenging.
Yeah.
So
And, I started and I still do all of my videos on a very,
oh, I just lost your sound. Can you hear me?
Sorry about that. Yeah, how's
Oh,
that?
there we go. Okay, we're
I
back.
had an earpiece and it went dead. So
Oh,
there you
sure.
go, video with technology.
I
So
was I was on RJ's live the other day and my tablet went dead. I had it plugged in to
yeah,
recharge, but I must have had it plugged in all the way, and all of a sudden, bloop, off I
yeah.
went. Anyway, go ahead.
So yeah, I do it all on my phone, which is a very old iPhone SE. People,
Yeah,
and but yet I think it does a really great job. But I was having a lot of
yeah.
memory issues at first, and different challenges. I've got some of that worked out. And lighting has been a challenge. Everybody's been talking about lighting.
Oh yeah, lighting's
And I
terrible.
finally bought a little microphone that hooks into it, and then I also just pop it into an editing program to bump up the audio
Sure.
and magnify the audio in the
Hmm.
editing program. And that
Right.
helps a little bit with the audio. So I've just done some little things to try to, improve it. I don't,
Yeah, I always
you know,
think I'm going to save up some little bit of money and like upgrade my camera or something, or like
yeah.
you said, a nicer microphone and all this and that. But then a knife comes along, and well, there goes the money I'm saving back.
I'm either spending all my money on either knives or leather.
Yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean, it doesn't really go to cameras.
it
Um,
doesn't, it
uh,
doesn't. But
but yeah,
oh,
I think all that's a big challenge, and I didn't realize what was involved, and I didn't really know what I was doing. I just kind of started, you
hmm.
know. I just did it, made a
Yeah,
video, few people watched it, you know, and
Yeah.
I just kind of started that way and tried to find my rhythm.
If there was anyone out there, and I know they are out there, we have some viewers with some fantastic knife collections that do not have channels. But if there is somebody out there, maybe they have 5 knives. Well, that's a collection, right? So if there's anyone out there that would like to start a YouTube channel, what would your recommendations be?
Oh, I didn't. No, I had more than 5 knives, but I don't think it takes a huge collection.
No, it doesn't.
I think it takes just a willingness to just get started.
Yeah.
And just tell people, I would say just be natural, just act like you're in the living room talking to your family about your knife collection. And that's all I do. I don't really even, I mean, I sometimes do some research and things, and I'm often wrong or, miss something, and, and I get corrected, and I'm fine with that. I want that, actually.
Right.
But, I would say just don't be too, just be yourself.
Sure. I agree with that. Yeah.
It's or your craft, I mean, the leather just started coming in after we did that. And I actually will probably do more of that in the future. I still do I do quite a bit of that, but with projects that I do, I try to almost do a video on almost about every leather project. But
it's nice to see your projects, as they're going through their different stages, and that's pretty neat to watch.
Yeah. I'd like to do a how-to. I think you and I talked about that.
Yeah.
How to make a knife slip and how I got started, and
just the simple tools. And what's your basic tool set that you need to get started to do a simple project? And then, like a lot of other things, you can keep adding to your tools, and as you progress to more and more complex projects.
For like $25, I got started.
Yeah.
It really doesn't take a lot of money to get started.
Yeah. That's fantastic.
As you get into it, you want to upgrade a little bit, because I've broken tools and things like that, where you've had to kind of upgrade, and then you learn more about what things are used for. And so I've made some improvements over the last couple months, in fact, that have made the world of difference for me. But anyway.
So we know you like Victorinox. Are there any other brands or patterns of knives or styles of knives that you really kind of gravitate towards?
Very eclectic. If you saw my collection in full, you would say, that's the biggest bunch of misfits I've ever seen in my life. I'm just trying to get, all different patterns, but I've recently kind of had a little bit of interest in, some people will be like, what? Why are you interested in that brand? But Frost.
Yeah.
And, but, there's a nice history there. And so, one of my recent pieces here needs to be cleaned up yet. Is this one right here. And
let me get you pulled up here.
Locking Copperhead.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Locking Copperhead. This is a locked clip point blade, and then you push down on the spare blade and it unlocks it. That's how the locking mechanism works. And that's really, really cool. And and the fit and finish is really pretty nice. It's got, the second blade is a Wharncliffe.
Yeah.
And so these are kind of neat. And I've got a few, Frost here recently that I've really enjoyed. And so I'm going to try to get to a couple of them here. Been a lot of talk about sodbusters recently. And
I think Jim Frost kind of takes an unnecessary knock. Of course, he's passed on now, but that's a nice looking sodbuster.
Yeah, I just love that little steel warrior on there. On the, it's just neat. There he is. Right there. you know.
I know Tobias did a video basically talking about Jim Frost, and yeah, he was known for some pretty, shall we say, inferior quality knives, but at the same time, he came out with like knives you're showing, and he kind of sparked a big interest and a revival in some of this stuff. So,
well, I think if somebody's wanting to get into knife collecting, I would highly suggest buying Frost.
Yeah, some of that earlier stuff when he was first coming out with it, that's some good stuff.
Yeah. Now, not the cheap, you know, modern ones that are all plasticky and everything.
Like 75 cents and the blade wobbles and
Yeah, don't buy those. Those are dangerous. But these are not. This has no play in it whatsoever. This is a beautiful trapper, and it's 440. All of it is 440 steel. It's made in China, so I mean that doesn't bother me. I'm more of a budget guy anyway. I like American knives and knives made in other countries, but you know, this Sodbuster is great. I really should carry this more often. Whenever I get all these out, I always think I should carry that more often.
Isn't that the way it is? Like, why haven't I been carrying this?
I don't know. You can't carry everything, unfortunately. You know.
No, that's right. That's right.
But I do like the Frost. I love Case too. I don't have very many of them. The Case Copper Lock. I've just absolutely fallen in love with it, and this is the one that I have. It's the Pocket Worn Harvest.
Oh yeah, that's got the Wharncliffe on it too, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's got the Wharncliffe. I really like Wharncliffe blades too. Yeah. And this has got the True Sharp stainless steel. And this is a mistake.
Oh, okay.
Slip that I made for myself. I was making it for somebody else, and I got the Bear. I don't know if you can see over too far.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And so I didn't want to send that to the person, so I kept it for myself.
Sure.
So, and that just slips right down in there in my pocket. I love carrying this.
Very nice. Very nice.
Those are a couple of examples, and
great,
you know, of things, but I'm pretty eclectic when it comes to that. I like all Opinels.
Yeah,
I love Opinels too. So I don't have very many of them. I have 3 Opinels, but so those are some ones that I kind of like to carry.
Well, unfortunately, I think we're coming up pretty close to 30 minutes already. Time goes fast.
Yes, it does.
Do you have any closing thoughts? Do you have anything you want to shout out or say to anyone out there in the community?
Well, I just want to say to the community, you know, I think you've been just a wonderful example of a community. You know, and when you think of community, you think of people coming together and supporting each other. And there's lots of examples of that, you know, in our world today. But I think this is a shining example of that. People have just been recently, you and I have talked about this. You know, every time you turn around, somebody's giving somebody something or shouting them out or, you know, sharing a video that was special to them, you know, or offering prayers and thoughts for, you know, someone who's lost a loved one or, you know, if they need support for a difficult time. I've seen a lot of examples of that in this community, and that is encouraging.
It really is.
I really think it's been amplified recently, and so I think that's amazing.
Yep, I would have to echo everything you just said there. And I just, while you were talking, I happened to think you talk about making friends and that. Did you ever realize we would make so many friends from around the globe? So many people overseas, and it's just...
Oh, yeah. I mean, Singing Toad, you know, and, you know, Patty, and, you know, there's just so many that we've made friends.
And not only channels, but just viewers even. I mean...
Yeah, and viewers too. And
it's just simply amazing. Simply amazing.
It really is. It really is.
Well, so, we're going to kind of get it wrapped up, unfortunately. It just goes too fast.
It really does.
But probably everyone's had their second cup of coffee and maybe getting ready for their third. But I just want to say, folks, if you aren't familiar with J.O. Ventures Outdoors, you owe it to yourself to go check out his channel. Hit that subscribe button. He's a wonderful friend, has a wonderful channel, great leather projects, great knife reviews, just a great down-to-earth kind of guy. And I'm proud to be able to call you friend there, John.
Well, same to you, Tom.
If you, the viewers, if you have any suggestions for future programs, or I'm amateur at all this technical stuff. If there's suggestions that you have to help improve this little program, why, please do so. I appreciate you all stopping by and spending your Saturday morning with us. So until next time, John, it's been fun and it's been great, and you have a very delightful day.
Thank you, Tom.
Okay.